Okay, hello and welcome everyone, the viewers. This is the first stream of 2026. This is pretty much my first stream in a while, so a bit rusty, but hey, gotta start somewhere. Okay, new year, new me, new plans for streaming. First, a little introduction. I think it makes sense to introduce myself. My name is Simon. I am from Canada, born and raised in Canada, Montreal. So I can speak both French and English. Sorry if my English is not super good. It will take some practice. It's part of the process. I will get better at it. Other than that, I am a software engineer. I have been programming for more than 10 years, mostly as a programmer analyst in C#, mostly web development. So yes, software development for over 10 years now. Some interest, things that I like manga. I like watching some illustrations on Pixiv. If you guys don't know, it's a website where people post their art, and I enjoy it very much. Most art. I also like music. I play a lot of bass. Music is a big part of my life too, and of course, drawing. Drawing is my other interest. I tend to hop a lot of from hobby to hobby, but manga, music, and drawing are, I would say, the most consistent I have been in the hobby world, if I can say that. And yes, so drawing. I have been drawing for a few years now. I have a few sketchbooks. I think I started in 2022, somewhere around the time. And yes, I have completed a few sketchbooks, but most of them are fan art or me copying other artists. And I want to make a change since September. Even though I have been drawing for a pretty long time, I consider myself a beginner. That is because I'd say 90% of everything I drew is copying other artists. So yes, now ever since September, I wanted to make a change in that. I basically wanted to create my own art, finding my own style, and in general be good at art in a broad sense. I am still, as I said, a beginner, so I am still in the experimental phase. I have tried a lot of stuff. I have tried digital printing. I have tried live 2D. I did a lot of traditional by basically doing line art, mostly line art. And right now, I have a new passion for watercolor. I'm trying to basically go back to traditional. I have done a lot of digital art since September, and now I'd say about 2 months ago I started watercoloring, and I really like watercoloring. So this is mostly what you guys are gonna see for the next few months, most likely. And I have actually a little sketchbook that I can show. This is my most recent sketchbook. I'm gonna lower a bit the exposure because it is very bright. Okay. This is my latest sketchbook. As I said, I started watercoloring 2 months ago, I'd say. I did a lot of experiments with the watercoloring. I started a class since mid-January, and I would say this is the first serious sketchbook I did in watercoloring. This is the Etcher brand. It is a hot press watercolor paper. It is kind of on the expensive side, but so far it is my favorite paper that I drew so far with. So yeah, New York in January 2026 with the boys. Basically I went to New York mid-January this year. and I had a lot of fun. I took a bunch of pictures, and basically I'm trying to do a sketchbook of this trip. I spent one weekend, I'd say about 2.5 days, something like that. This is not live sketching and not urban sketching. I just took a bunch of pictures because when you're traveling with people, it's kind of hard to sketch on the go, since oh wait guys, can you guys wait 15 minutes, I'm gonna draw this. It doesn't really work that way. So I just took a bunch of pictures, and now I'm drawing from the pictures that I took. I spent the whole weekend at Manhattan, and just an overview of basically some of the drawings, and give you guys a bit of an understanding of where I am at right now with watercoloring and even drawing in general. So yeah, some landscape of the city. This is Wall Street. This is the Grand Central train station. The Raging Bull, Charging Bull, something like that. Statue of Liberty, the Met, Great Museum. So a lot of landscape or perspective being used here. And while in the museum, I took a bunch of pictures of a bunch of stuff. This is a great museum, a lot of subject from different countries, different time. It's crazy how big that museum is. I would highly recommend anyone to go to that museum if you ever have the opportunity. The Met, it's called. This is the entry ticket. I'm gonna buy some washi tape, I think, and use that instead of masking tape eventually. So yeah, this is my first sketchbook of watercolor. It's not completed yet. I am still in the work. I am still completing it. It's a work in progress, but I am slowly drawing in it. And that's it for now. So you guys kind of see where I am at with my drawing skills. I'd say I'm pretty good at copying stuff. That's what I did for the past few years. I have a relatively a good understanding of forms and stuff, but there's a lot of mistakes, definitely a lot of hatching issues. So yeah, there is places for improvement. Okay, what's next? I have a list of things I want to talk about. Since this is the first stream, it's going to be a lot of blah 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 at the beginning, but for future streams, it's not going to be as how do I say this? I'm not going to talk as much. Okay, so yes, I have been drawing since September. I am in the experimental phase. Okay, so how do I improve? I am self-taught. I don't have any teacher or anything. I am taking a class right now, but it's like introduction to watercoloring. I don't know if I'm gonna keep taking classes. It is kind of expensive for one. I don't have too much of the budget, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep going to classes and stuff like that. So being self-taught, I have to kind of find my own mentor on the internet. There's a bunch of tutorials online, and this is a good opportunity in general for me to learn, for everyone. There's just so many resources, why not use them? I do want to say my biggest influence right now, online mentorship, is Peter Han and Feng Zhu. Peter Han, if you guys most likely maybe have seen him, he does a lot of illustration. He does inking, mostly only ink, and a bit of watercoloring from what I've seen. And yeah, you can see him at Peter Han Style. He has his own website. He has a YouTube channel that you can watch. I'm gonna a bit more into details later on, because I am gonna be following his book for the next few, I don't know, streams, days, weeks, however long it takes. The other biggest influence for me as of now is Feng Zhu from Design Cinema or FZD School. He also have a YouTube channel, which is a gold mine in my opinion of content for learning artists. He is more on the concept design instead of illustration. So he did a lot of concept design for I think Star Wars and a lot of video games that everyone I've heard at some point in their lives. So yeah, very talented, and again a great teacher too. He has so much video. I think he has over 100 video. Some of them are over 1 hour long. So a lot of content, a lot of things to go through. Now, do I want to be a concept design or illustration? I don't know yet. Again, I am in the experimental phase, which means I'm just trying a bunch of stuff and trying to see what I like, and create from that, create my own style and create my own art afterwards. At least that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Another thing is, okay, how do I get good at drawing? Okay, I'm gonna follow a few video tutorials and stuff like that, but there's also streaming. Streaming is a great way, I think, for me to improve my drawing. Why? Though this is experimental phase, I don't know if I'm gonna keep streaming for a long time. I don't know if I'm gonna do 10 stream. Maybe I won't like it in a few days. Who knows? But right now I am treating streaming as like, this is my school, this is my homework, because I am self-taught. I need some kind of discipline, a schedule or something. If I don't, then it becomes very hard to improve, I feel like. So that's why I'm treating streaming a kind of a school, and you guys are kind of schoolmate in a sense. I am trying to create a kind of a habit. I will try my best to stream 5 days a week, regularly, from 1 maybe to 3 or 4, depending on how I feel. But I will try my best to start at 1 p.m. East Coast time. So yeah, that's why I am streaming. Also, there's extra stuff that comes with it, right? I get to show my art to people, which I think is good for improvement. Again, showing your art to people and getting feedback. If you guys have feedback for me, then I will gladly read them. And of course, there's also recording, because I am streaming, everything is recorded. I can go back and watch my improvement over the years, over the days, over the weeks, whatever. I can also create content from my recording. Maybe I can do a time lapse or something. So that's also cool. So those are more extra. Streaming is not gonna be the main goal. The main goal is to improve my drawing. At least that's how I try to view it, because I don't want to have the stress of social media basically over me, on my shoulder. I just want to improve my art as much as possible, and maybe create a community or join a community. Who knows? There's no guarantee. These things can change. We'll see how it goes as I will see how it goes as I go along streaming and stuff like this. And yeah, that's pretty much for the how I'm gonna improve on drawing. Okay, stream summary. So what am I gonna do to improve my drawing on stream? Well, first is every stream is gonna have a bit of a structure. It's always, I will try to keep it, I will try to follow this plan as much as possible, which is this. So first, I'm always gonna do some warm-up, some line exercise. Again, I will show you guys from the Peter Hans book later on how I'm gonna do that. And then on my study drawing, which I will also explain. And if I have extra energy time, I will take a break for sure. Can we go to 15 to 20 minutes breaks, make a coffee, drink water. Stretches is very important. Drawing for a long period of time can be very stressing on the body. And then warm-ups, and then fun drawing. Maybe draw on my sketchbook, maybe do some fan art. Who knows? This is the fun part. I can do whatever I want, whenever I not whenever I want. I want to do whatever I want to draw. And yeah, that's gonna be the stream schedule for the most part every day. At first, I'm not gonna do the extra. I think I'm just gonna do the warm-up and the study drawing. I will go for about 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. That's on 60 to 90 minutes usually. I think that's a good focus time to spend my energy on drawing, because after 90 minutes usually you can tend to get tired, and you're less focused, you don't learn as much, thus the break. Okay, Dynamic Babel. Be right back. Just gonna grab the book. This is the Dynamic Babel by Peter Han. Okay, I'm gonna go over the book, but first about Peter Han. Peter Han is an artist. He graduated from Art Center College in 2000, I think, around 2005, very early, compared to me. He has 15 plus years in the entertainment industry. He worked with multiple studios, and he is also a teacher. He's been teaching a lot. I think he has an online course. You can check it out on his website. And he also have a YouTube channel where he does live stream sometime and just video in general, maybe some reviews on some things. A great resource. So yeah, this is pretty much about Peter Han, and he wrote this book, which is a Dynamic Babel. Very nice cover. It's not, there's not a lot of pages. There's about 80 pages, so it's not that big. This is, I think, his latest version. I think he has multiple versions. Sorry for the wobble. I have kind of a jerry rig setup, and yeah, we'll have to deal with it. I might improve with times, but right now it's fine. And so yeah, no, back in the book. So yeah, this book basically is, from my understanding, how he teaches at school. This is, I think he did this in a few years ago, not too long ago. And yeah, it goes over oh, actually, just gonna go a bit over it. The book is divided into two parts. The first part is foundation, where basically there's gonna be basic drawing techniques, very starting from scratch. I'm talking about making circles, drawing lines, rectangle, boxes, cubes, all the cubes that we love. And yes, that's going to be the first part of the book. So the basic technique, and afterwards it's about applying those foundations. In this case, he have two examples that he goes over, which is bugs and automobile, so cars and stuff. So learn the foundation, how to create simple form, simple perspective, simple hatching technique, maybe texture. And once we get the foundation right, we apply those techniques to automobile and bugs. At least this is my understanding of the book. So yeah, and it's not too big. Again, 80 pages. So first part, technique, and second part, apply the technique, which is two subject, bugs and automobile. So I'm gonna go through this book. He has a bigger version of this book, which is, I think, also called Dynamic Babel, which is more in depth. There's a lot more sample. I think it goes over plants, bone structure, birds, marine life, military stuff, weapons. More in-depth book. This one is like a smaller version, which is fine for me. I am beginning, so this is good. So how I will approach this book? Well, he actually did a live stream. You can see, I would recommend you guys watch his video. I think it's episode 50, where he goes over this book and he tells if he was a student how he would approach this book. And basically I can summarize it. Again, I would recommend watching the video. If you want to follow me, then by all means get the book. It's not too expensive, honestly. And yeah, if you're a beginner, I think it's a great exercise. I have actually I followed a tutorial a few years ago, which is called the Drawbox. It's a website. I didn't know at the time that Drawbox was actually inspired by Peter Han's lessons. I think he was the one who created the Drawbox website, was a student of Peter Han, and I did that a few years ago, and I went through the exercise. And then when I found this book, I was like, oh, these are very similar. And I found out, well, he was a student of Peter Hans, so I am a bit familiar with the the basic exercise at the first, so I already did a few of them back at the time, but now I did not finish the challenge of the Drawbox website, and I'm gonna try to finish this book. And I just like paper in general versus reading on a website. There's something about paper that traditional art and stuff like that I actually prefer over digital. So yeah, back to how I will approach this book, or at least recommended by Peter Hahn, is first read it once, obviously, and once you read it, draw everything from the book from the beginning. Basically, I'm just gonna draw everything, like everything, at once, and then afterwards I'm gonna draw the same thing but in a different angle for some of the pictures, at least not everything, but I'm gonna draw everything once. So I'm gonna draw this, I'm gonna draw this, and later on, as you can see here, the way he does it, he really deconstruct a subject into simple form, kind of reverse engineering. So first he's gonna go with basic form, and then a bit more details, and then very detail. And what I'm gonna do, and he recommends to do this, is draw this part and then draw this part, and then redraw these two but in a different angle as much as possible, at least. The more I guess I do it, the better I get, but this will help me understand, did I really learn? It also just helps practice and everything. So yeah, this is how I'm gonna go about it, is draw a first time and then redraw it in a different angle. And some extra, let's say, exercise would be to do some foreshortening practice. So draw this but super enhanced, super dynamic, maybe in another type of perspective. I don't know, that's kind of the extra step. And also maybe find my own references and try to use these techniques and draw something else in another bug, let's say another type of beetle. I'll try to do exactly this but with another type of beetle. That could be a fun exercise too, again, to apply these on my own way, if I can say, instead of just copying everything. I want to apply these techniques on my own term, in a sense. And details is kind of optional. This is the last step. I won't say optional, this is more of just the last step of the exercises. And yeah, that's pretty much about this book. And there's, again, this is the bug part, and later on there is the automobile part. So yeah, this is gonna be what I'm gonna be working on for the next few weeks. I think it's gonna take a few weeks to complete this. If I go about 90 minutes a day, I think I take my time with it. This should be good for me. Materials. Next is material. This is a simple sketchbook, a scrapbook more than a sketchbook. Strathmore, about 100 pages. I already have a bunch of stuff in it, and I'm gonna keep using this one for the study, the exercises. I don't care, I have done a lot of these already, those like line exercises and warm-up. This is what I'm gonna do at the beginning of every stream, maybe 5 to 10 minutes of this, and then do the actual drawing of the content of the book. All right, and that's pretty much it. What else? Ink only. The other thing, no pencil, because pencil you can erase. He recommends using only pens, felt tip pen specifically, but I don't care. I'm just gonna use all the pen I have. I have a bunch of pens lying around that I haven't used for years, so this is a good time for me to actually use them and get rid of them. I have accumulated a lot of pens over the years, and I really want to get, remove the clutter from my home. So yeah, felt tip or ink only. And sorry about that. So yeah, ink only and scrap paper. For my fun drawing part section of the streams, I will be mostly doing watercolor, I think, at least for now. This is what I find fun. And this is I have my little watercolor pen, a few brushes, and I'm gonna use some watercolor paper, and that's pretty much it for the material. I'm gonna go in depth. My goal is to kind of get rid of these pens, and eventually, if I can, use these instead. Those are fountain pens. I prefer fountain pens over felt pen, ballpoint, gel pen. I like these because there's less waste, and I want to use them as my primary tool, drawing tools. These, you use them, and once you're done with them, no more ink, you throw them in the trash basically, which I think is wasteful. That's why I like fountain pen. You can just refill them as you use them, and I think it's even less expensive in the long run. Now you do need some special paper that doesn't bleed. Like this paper, it doesn't really go well with fountain pen. It still works. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but there is a bleeding. I don't know if I can find example of bleeding. Like this is from a manga. This is again copying another artist. I don't know if you can see, but there's a lot of feathering and there's a lot of bleeding. You can the ink goes through the paper, it goes on the other side, so it is very messy basically. So we kind of need a better quality paper for fountain pen. So the paper do get more expensive, but I don't know. I prefer these. I just want to be less wasteful. Moleskine actually retains fountain pen ink better than scrap paper. I really like these. Those are a bit more expensive than your traditional. No, these are more expensive than traditional scrap paper, but yeah, it goes well with fountain pen. I think watercolor paper also goes well with fountain pen, which is great because I like to use fountain pen and watercolor, so it's perfect. And yeah, that's it. Now I'm gonna start the exercises. I'm gonna speak a lot less now. My voice is not used to speaking that much. As time goes on, I think I'm gonna be better at it. So yes, put some music on and draw with me if you can. Gonna start with the warm-up line exercise. The warm-up exercise is basically just lines, circles, ellipses, and arcs. Just repeat them. For example, I'm gonna do one line, and then I'm gonna do the same line again over it with as much accuracy as possible, like this, without, you know, wobbling as much as possible. Repeat that about 8 times, and I'm gonna repeat that. Small, medium, long lines. Like this, and go do this the whole page. This is a horrible line. It's okay. And that's it for the warm-up for now. There's a bit of perspective exercise, but I haven't gone through them yet in the book. So yeah, next let's tackle the book. And as I said, I'm gonna draw everything a first time, and if there are some form that needs to be drawn, well, I will do them and repeat them in different angle, as I said. Okay, I have been studying for, well, not studying, but streaming for an hour and a half. Next time I won't have so much of an introduction. I'm gonna be more quick about it since I have already done it to stream. It was fun. Hard exercises. Ellipses need a lot of practice, which makes sense. It is the hardest, in my opinion, of all the simple line shape between circles and straight line and arcs. Ellipses is very, very hard, and that's normal because it's gonna take a lot of practice. But it's fine. I like it. And yeah, next time I'll jump on the exercises faster, and I might do fun drawing. Who knows? But for now, this is gonna be it for today. I'm gonna take small steps, small stream, 1 hour and a half at least. And as time progresses, as I stream more, as I get more used to this, I will stream maybe longer times period. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and good